Hey, I'm Working Weston, and with Christmas around the corner, I thought I would put together a video of my top 10 favorite things for that hard to buy for a person. We've all been there, trying to shop for that person who has everything, doesn't want anything. They're just hard to buy for. So the list I've put together are my top 10 favorite things that have had an appreciable impact on my life and have stood the test of time. These aren't things that you're going to buy and are going to get thrown out in a week or a month. These are things that will last years and years and years. With that being said, let's get into it. First item is a safety razor. So I think this is the best way to shave, hands down. The advantages over a regular razor are numerous. First thing is the entire thing is made of metal. So the razor itself will last 50, 60, 70, 100 years. The replacement blades are extremely cheap. I'm talking 10 cents a blade. So you can shave with one of these for a decade and it might run you $10 or $20 in blades. It really depends how often you change your blades. I use mine for a long time. I know some people change them every shave, but I think you could get a lot of miles out of them. The other bonus thing about this is if you're getting one for a gift, they've existed for 100 years. So you can hit up thrift shops and find a really cool vintage one for maybe $10 or $15. A lot of companies also did start to manufacture these more recently, so you can get a brand new one if you want it as well. People are intimidated by it, but it's called a safety razor. I find it's actually really hard to cut myself with one of these and very easy to shave with. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's a new skill to learn. And I think you get a better shave out of one of these than a 3, 4, or 5 blade razor. Why do you need 5 blades on a razor cartridge? No cartridges in the landfill. Handles that last forever, much, much better razor. My next favorite item are jogging pants. Jogging pants are one of those things where once you go to jogging pants, there's no going back. They're way, way more comfortable than jeans. In fact, I'm wearing a pair right now. My recommendation with jogging pants is to get a pair that has tapered legs. These make them look a little more refined, so if you're doing a late night grocery run if you're going out in public, you won't look like a complete slob. And also something that's soft, but I haven't had a pair that isn't soft, so I think that goes without saying. My next recommendation is fancy soap. I'm a pretty plain soap guy. I've been using Irish Spring for a while, but more recently I started looking at ingredients of things that I'm eating and using, and I wasn't super impressed. So 1 bar of soap has over 15 ingredients, and basically all of them are chemicals. I'll read them out real quick. Here we go.
Sodium tallowate, sodium palmate, sodium cocoate, sodium palmkernelate, sodium laurate, water, glycerin, hydrogenated tallow acid, coconut acid, fragrance, sodium chloride, pentasodium pentate, pentaerythritol tetradetyl-butyl, hydroxyhydrocinamate, titanium dioxide, greenate, green 3.
Recently I started looking into soap making. I realized it's super easy, but I'm not going to recommend you make your own soap for somebody. Hit up Etsy, search soap, and find some real cool stuff. Buy it, gift it, see what they think. Personally, I think the call them fancy cosmetic kind of stuff isn't just for women. Men like it too. There's just a bit more stigma and we don't really have as many opportunities to get it for ourselves. So if it's coming from someone else as a gift, all the better. My next favorite thing is a new wallet. I used to have the big old bulky wallets like everybody else, but what I inevitably switched to is a broccoli elastic. I'm not saying you got to give somebody a broccoli elastic, but bonus points if you do. There are lots of companies making slimmer versions of elastic-style wallets that you can find online, and they're all very reasonably priced. The reason I like this type of wallet is that the only thing I carry is cards and bills now. Next gift item I would recommend is a large quantity of their favorite food or drink. This one's easy. Listen to what they like. For me, it's Doritos, and then buy them a ton of it. I'm talking a ton. So if you're getting somebody Doritos, get them 10, 20, 30, 50 bags. They're not going to go bad, and they're going to burn through them like crazy anyway. We're going for sheer volume here. When they open it, it's just bag, 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 or beers, 48 to 128, whatever it is. Favorite food item and a ton of it, so long as it's non-perishable. Another thing I absolutely love are wireless chargers. I don't understand why people are still plugging in their phone. Whenever I get home from work or going out, I throw my phone on this and I forget about it. Anytime I grab it, it's always charged. I don't have to play around with a jack and wiggle it and try and clean it out and all that stuff. I just put it on and it works. What I would recommend though is getting a decent brand of charger. I've been burned with the cheapos where you put it on and it's got to be perfectly positioned, and the charge rate is really slow and not that great. So what I would probably do, first off, is check that their phone is compatible with a wireless charger, and then maybe get a brand of wireless charger that matches the phone. So if they have a Samsung phone, get them a Samsung charger. I don't know how it works for Apple, if there's Apple wireless chargers. The idea being that wireless charger is, in my opinion, far superior to plugged-in charging. I would call this more of a sleeper gift, but I really enjoy my Engraver. It's not expensive, it's not fancy, but to me it is the more permanent version of labeling something. We all love labeling stuff and sorting it and categorizing it. Well, with an Engraver you could do it more permanently. And what I mostly use it for are my hand tools. Anytime I get a new hand tool, I will engrave my initials on it. That way when I'm lending out tools to people, I'm not really concerned about not getting it back. Not that I don't trust my sketchy friends or anything, but it just gives me that extra sense of security, I guess. And it's not just tools. You can engrave all sorts of different stuff that I can't think of at the moment, but trust me, you get a lot of use out of an Engraver. You're not going to use it every day, but when you need it, it's there. And I would definitely recommend getting one that takes regular batteries, not some proprietary rechargeable battery. I'm very against proprietary rechargeable batteries because inevitably after 2 years or 3 years, you're left with an item that you can't use anymore unless you can source an original battery. Something like this takes AAA batteries. If it sits on the shelf for a couple years, I just pop new batteries in and it's good to go. My favorite tool out of all the tools I own is a drill, more specifically a 12-volt drill. So my original drill, which is about 10 years old now, is this 18-volt beast, and it's great and it's powerful, but it's really heavy. Most of the drilling tasks I do don't require this amount of power, so I've since picked up a 12-volt drill, which can do almost everything the 18-volt can do, but at a fraction of the weight. This doesn't wear out my wrists, and I could use it basically all day. I could put it in my pocket climbing ladders. I can't say enough about it. I personally bought rigid drills because they have a lifetime warranty on their batteries, so when the battery inevitably fails, they will replace it free of charge. Not sure if they're still doing that, probably are. But the real key here is to get a smaller, lighter drill, and these lithium-ion drills have plenty of power for most tasks. Now, if you're a contractor, maybe it's a different story, but for the average person doing tasks around the house, this is more than adequate. Another item I love are headlamps. I was using flashlights forever, and then more recently, the light on my phone, which gets tricky when you're renovating and you're holding a phone. You don't want to drop it and smash it. So headlamps solve all those problems. Strap it to your head, turn it on, and your hand's free. They're mostly adjustable too, so you could aim the light up or down, and some of them have different settings for red light, which is kind of useless. Mostly you're just looking for a light on your head. It's pretty simple. Again, the whole battery issue, I would recommend getting one that has normal batteries so you're not stuck with an old headlamp with a battery that doesn't work anymore. A lot of them will take AA's or AAA's. You could use them for more than renovating. You could just hold them in your hand and use it as a flashlight. Great for camping, when you gotta pee in the middle of the night, all that good stuff. More controversial, I'm gonna make a screwdriver recommendation. Everybody has their personal preferences with a screwdriver, but I think I found the best one for me. It is this Jet or Mega Pro 15-in-1. All the bits are held in the handle, which pulls out, spins, pop the bit out, close it up, put it on the top, and you're good to go. You get Phillips, Robertson, Torx, and flathead in here, which does 95 or 97%, maybe even 99. Almost all the screwing I ever need to do, I can do with this one screwdriver. That way I'm not fumbling with 5 or 6 different sizes, or even more than that, 10 or 12, because each bit is double-sided, so you actually get 15 different bits in here. Made in the USA, durable as hell. I use this as a hammer to beat stuff, which you shouldn't, and I even take the bits out and use them in my drill, which you shouldn't, but it stood the test of time so much that I've bought more than one for different places in the house. I've also bought them for other people as gifts, and everybody's loved it. And on some of them, I've even engraved every bit with my engraver. That way they don't get mixed up with other tools, and I always know where they go. Last item I'm gonna recommend is what I think is an upgraded version of a houseplant, a bonsai. So these are kind of intimidating, but personally, I don't find it any more work than a houseplant, maybe even less. Price-wise, they're about the same. You could pick one up for $20 or $30. And think of it more of a long-term hobby. So pick one up for somebody. Don't worry about the requirements of it or any of that stuff. Figure it out as you go. And it could branch into more items later, like you can get new trimmers for it, or a little rake to rake the sand, or some nutrients, or a little watering can. I love my bonsais. I leave them outside all summer, I bring them into the garage in the winter, and they've been thriving on neglect. So those are my top 10 favorite items for the hard to buy for person. I hope from those you can at least find one thing or maybe get some ideas going for that person that you're struggling to buy a gift for. If you like the video, then hit like, or better yet, subscribe. I'm gonna be coming out with a lot more stuff. And you can also find me on Twitch doing live streams, also working Weston. What I'm gonna say though is the most important thing in gift buying is to listen to the person you're buying for. Most people, human nature, is to complain a lot and talk about their problems. So I look at gift giving as an opportunity to solve a problem. A gift should be solving somebody's problem. So if somebody's complaining about something, just take a little mental note, 2 minutes later, write it down, come back to it later. And I think you'll find that if you listen closely, you'll be able to figure out gifts very easily. That being said, thanks for watching the video. See you next time.